Welcome to the Near Memo, a weekly conversation about search, social, and commerce. What happened, why it matters, and the implications for local. Here we are with episode 89 of the Near Memo. Today it's Mike and me. David is out, and we're going to be talking primarily about Google, a subject we all know and love. And we've got three kind of related topics about a Google bug, which is impacting reviews. Reviews are disappearing. And then the kind of evolution of the Google spam algorithm when it comes to reviews and how that's playing out. And then finally, we're going to close with the discussion of Airbnb and their comments on their recent earnings call about how they have emphasized brand marketing over performance marketing and how they're really eliminating paid search from their or really marginalizing or minimizing paid search, and what that and whether other businesses can follow suit there. So, Mike, you lead off with the bug that you observed. Why don't you tell us?
Sure. So I love going in the Google Forums as a hobby, and for the last 2 months, I've been looking particularly at the issue of reviews. And one forum post that caught my attention. Suddenly, I woke up to see the details about my profile were changed and all the reviews were deleted. I am confused about how to approach this situation. Do guide me. You know, the Google Forums is kind of like a really tight funnel. You get very small percentage of the total businesses in the world. There's 200 million that are on Google. Some percentage of those go into support. Some less percentage go from there into the forum. So when you see one post like that, you think, oh, maybe it's just flaky. If you see two posts like that, you think it's kind of like Alice's Restaurant, right? You see two posts like that, you think, oh, maybe there's something going on, but maybe they're both flaky. You see three posts like that and you realize that Google probably has a new bug, right? There's a movement here. And so it's much like that. So this one was interesting and it took a fair bit of digging, but I found 6 or 7 cases over the last week where this happened, where Google pushed suggested edits to a listing and they lost all of their reviews. And normally you lose reviews because you're suspended or your list, there's some reason they violated the new algorithm and they got taken down. But this didn't, they were incentivized, all those reasons you could lose your reviews, but these were none of those reasons. So let me give you a little bit of background here.
Explain what suggested edits are for people that don't know what that is.
So suggested edits are Google's way of pushing orthogonal data that they think is correct onto business listings that have not been updating their listings as often as Google thinks they should or whatever. So they will find data that they think is correct and they will push it to the listing and then advise the listing owner that the data has been updated and that the owner can go and undo those changes. This is particularly problematic with large multi-location because there's no way to undo the changes in bulk. And frequently these suggested edits, for whatever reason, are wrong, or at least frequently enough that it's annoying. So that's one side, is this suggested edits. They get pushed through businesses. And part of it's because businesses don't go into their listing enough to update things like ours. They come from user input. They come from third-party data sources. They may even come from the website, whatever. Don't know. But normally a suggested edit is it only changes the visible content of the listing. The other side of it is what's called a CID number, where this is the number that sort of ties the whole database around that listing together. When two listings get merged or a listing gets suspended and then recreated a month later, they will get a new CID number. And when they do, oftentimes they will be disassociated from any of their reviews. Normally, these two sort of things happen independently, but with digging, what we discovered in all 6 of these cases was that when Google pushed these suggested edits, for some reason, the CID of these listings automatically changed and they all lost their reviews, not because the reviews violated some review rule or something, but because Google screwed up their CID number and lost track of the reviews.
Effectively creating a new listing in Google's internal system.
Exactly. And what's also interesting about this, if you go to support and say, oh, I've lost my reviews and I have new CID, they say, well, we can't do anything about it. We can't find the reviews. So unless the business has the old CID and can point Google or all of the review content, Google can't find it. So this is a new, very disturbing bug. And maybe it's working as intended. Who knows with Google, right? I mean, they have bizarre ideas about what correct behavior is. But regardless, businesses need to be aware of it. And businesses need to, one, be sure that they captured and store offline their CIDs for every location. And preferably, they download every one of their reviews either through review management package like Gather Up or just copying and pasting into a document, because Google gets stupid when they lose your reviews and they can't find them. And you need to prove to them that you had them. It's like, oh my God, they have all these tools. They apparently don't have a tool for that. So it's a problematic bug combining two problematic systems, with the solutions being even more problematic because support can't solve it. So you have to escalate it into the forum and then maybe escalate it via PE into some other resolution channel. So it's a real cluster.
So, and if you're a multi-location business, every single location has a unique CID, obviously, right?
Exactly. Every
And
location has unique CID.
where do those appear normally to the business owner or the person managing the account?
If you can surface the CID, they're embedded in the profile. So, for example, GatherUp has a extension for Chrome that extracts it. Plepper has a online tool that extracts it. They have recently, just yesterday, updated the link in the business dashboard. When you click on that link, it now embeds the CID in the link. So this is the first time that Google has ever surfaced the CID in an easy way. So there's three ways to get the CID. Get it from the link in the dashboard of your business, get it from a third-party extension like GatherUp, or get it from Plepper's online tool.
So there typically, there are a number of things that are going on in terms of reviews missing or disappearing. I mean, people have been complaining about this for a period of time. How do they know when it's one type of bug or one type of problem versus this new CID number issue based on suggested edits? How are they going to make that understand that distinction?
Right.
Because they might come at Google and say, my reviews are gone. I think you changed the CID. I mean, it's like a diagnostic problem. How do they figure out what's going on?
So there's three broad categories of reviews missing. One is Google's review algorithm periodically runs against existing reviews and you lose 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. That's one way. Usually you don't lose them all because not all of them look suspicious to the algorithm. Another way is your reviews, you've been cheating on reviews, incentivizing. Somebody catches you, escalates it through the forum, Google gets wind of it, and they delete reviews that way. And they will send you a notice of that. There's a new thing in the new algorithm where new businesses, particularly in real estate, seem to have a flag on the location that prevents them from they'll ask for reviews, they'll be told the reviews are coming, and they'll never show up. In this case, the one diagnostic tool that I think a business has is if they've captured the review link from what they were asking with before. They lost, firstly, all of their reviews as opposed to they have a few and they're just not getting any, or they had some and they lost a few, or they've been cheating and they lost a few. If they've lost all of their reviews, then a quick diagnostic is to take the old review link that Google gave you in your dashboard and see if it resolves to the review solicitation page. If it doesn't resolve correctly, that's an indication that your CID has been changed because it referenced the old CID somehow or the old URL, which is no longer there, and it can't find it. So it no longer redirects. Then hopefully you will, if you've been storing the CIDs, you can then take it to support and hopefully get these back.
Okay, well that's helpful, and if people yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that there's going to be an article that will be out,
right?
That we will summarize all of this. By the time you listen to this, the article will be available, and it's titled. The tentative title is something like "Google GBP PSA suggested updates cause lost reviews." So keep your eye out for that.
Right,
it'll be on the website.
Yeah, look for it'll be the latest analysis piece on our.
I thought one of these days I should do an article that's just acronyms, GBP, PSA, something,
That would be kind of fun.
Thanks for joining David, Mike, and Greg. To stay on top of the latest developments in local, subscribe to our newsletter at nearmedia.co. We'll see you next week.